We can hear you. You gotta mute.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, welcome to our Point of View talk show. Today, we are going to be talking about life coach. Do we need a life coach? Why do we need a life coach? And who qualifies to be a life coach? But before we talk about that, we're going to go ahead and introduce everyone. First, I want to introduce my partner in crime, one of the other hosts, Miss Connie. Hi, Connie.
Hello, everybody out there in YouTube, Facebook Live land. Good to see everyone.
And then next we have our other host, Miss Jennifer. Hey, Jen.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm glad you were able to make it. So our special guest today, we have Minister Marcella D. Moore. Hi, Miss Moore. We talked about her name before we went on live, but this is Minister Marcella D. Moore. And our other special guest is Minister Ginger London. Is it London?
London, yes.
Okay.
Hi.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to start talking about life coach. So we're going to start with you, Ginger. What is a life coach?
Well, just easily said, a life coach is someone who can help you move forward in life. It's a little different from like a counselor or a therapist. They usually go back into your past and dig around a little bit to see why you're doing what you're doing and, you know, how that's affecting your everyday life. A life coach is someone who's moving you forward. They may visit the past a little bit, but mostly what a life coach is mostly concerned with is moving you forward in life and to get to help like put a fire under you, if you will, and kind of guide you toward the goals that you want to reach in life, in your business, in your ministry, in your career. So that's basically what a life coach does.
Okay, and Ginger, hi, my love. You look beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. How did you get into life coaching?
I got into it. I was originally I trained to be I was training to be a licensed professional counselor, and as I was going through that training, had already got the master's in it and was actually being supervised at the time, and so I just became bored with it, you know. And not that there's anything wrong with licensed professional counselors. It's just for me, it wasn't moving fast enough. It wasn't progressive enough, you know. And I know how to counsel people, but it was just something about where I was in life at that moment that I just wanted to help people move forward. And at that time, I just, to me, it was like, it's got to be more to this than just this. And in addition to that, every state has their governing boards for licensed professional counselors. And I just was somebody who felt like, okay, you know what? I went to school, I got a master's. In the master's program, I had to do a internship. In the internship, then I got to come back to the practical class and do the case studies and all of that. Then once I graduated, they were telling me, hey, you got to do another 2 years being supervised by someone. Well, I was like a little antsy. So I was like, I don't really want to do another 2 years. And so some kind of way I ran across life coaching. And then when I researched it, it was, it was really no governing body for it. You could train to learn how to do it. And basically it's about what is your area of expertise? What are you good at? What have you overcome that you can help somebody else do? And so that was attractive to me because I could get started right then. I could do it right there. I didn't have to be supervised by anybody per se. Not that that's wrong, just for where I was in life at that moment. I just, I get bored easily. So I was having that 2-year journey, and I may have been maybe 6 months into that 2-year journey. And then I started counting my money, like, this is how much I have to pay the supervisor. And when I look at that time, 24 months, it's like almost another class. So I was like, no. And then you got to take a test and all that stuff, so I was like, no, okay, you know what? I need something else that's comparable to that, but exciting at the same time. So that's how I got it.
Okay. And for our viewers, Minister Ginger, it hails from Louisiana. Is that correct?
That is Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where she is. Are you in Louisiana right now?
Right now.
She's in Louisiana right now. So she hails from Baton Rouge, and she has a diamond coaching business, and we're going to get into that, and we're going to talk some more about that. But the other person in the room with us, sharing this day with us, is none other than Marcella D. Motivates, better known as Cella D. And Cella, tell us how you got into the life coaching business.
Well, thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this conversation tonight. I'm enjoying it, and I'm so blessed to be here with Minister Ginger. So I think that I was life coaching when we first met, Connie, when I was 8 years old.
True that.
I've been doing this type of stuff since I was a young lady, and unfortunately, my parents did not know how to cultivate that gift. So it wasn't until I'm 58 now. It wasn't until some years ago when I tapped into this whole life coaching thing, because I realized that in doing what I do a lot of counseling under my church, under pastoral counseling. I am not a licensed counselor, nor am I a licensed therapist, but I do have the ability to ignite individuals, motivate them, encourage them. And that's what I do. This is a part of who I am. And so when I learned about life coaching, and I learned about it many years ago, and I've taken several programs over the years for the certification. As Minister Ginger noted, that there is no governing body, at least in New Jersey where I am, and I guess in Louisiana where she is, and kind of you're in Georgia, so I don't think there's any governing body. So you get to learn, and you realize that you have this gift and you have this ability to help people move from where they are to where they really want to be. And I was just blessed that this was a real life thing, and I can take advantage of it. And it helped me unfold the purpose that I have. So it wasn't until over the last couple of years or so that I really got into purpose. And that purpose led me to the point of being able to classify myself as a life coach.
Well, I have a
Ms. Moore,
question.
you mentioned that, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Jen.
Ms. Moore, you mentioned that you're not a licensed therapist. So do you recommend to your clients that they see a therapist in addition to taking your life coaching course?
1067% yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think they mirror each other. I think that, so and Minister Ginger talked about this, counselors, they go deep in with you. They talk about past drama. And while I do some of that too, based on what my client, based on what their goals are, but counselors are trained and equipped to not only dig deep down with them, but to listen and then also give them steps that they will be able to manage to come out of their things. One thing that I've learned, there are lots of people who are successful in their businesses and they do well in their businesses, but they get to a point where they get stuck. And that most of the time they're stuck because they haven't dealt with a lot of things that have happened in their lives over the past. So when they come to me, again, my goal is to help them move from where they are to where they really want to be. But even in our conversation, what unfolds is that there are some things there that they have not dealt with in their past, that they've covered up, and that they've been so diligent in working hard to make their business successful that they suppress everything that they were experiencing and going through. However, as they continue to move forward in life, they find that their behavior is positioning them in a place where they know they have to do something. So I say, and because I'm a faith-based believer, I said Jesus plus a good therapist will take you places.
Okay, well, Ms. Ginger, I have a question. Can you tell us what's the difference between a mentor and a life coach, and which one do you need first?
A mentor is someone who's actually going to teach you what they've actually been through step by step by step. So if I'm mentoring you, let's say, to teach the word of God, then I'm going to walk you through step by step by step from the expertise that I have from teaching the Bible or teaching the word. I'm going to walk you through that. I'm going to take you every step of the way where you can become a great teacher, spiritual teacher of the word of God. So a mentor pours into you from their life experiences, from their expertise, but it's usually a specific thing then that they're doing. And it's really about sharing their expertise with you, their experiences and their life journey with you. On the flip side of that, a life coach is listening to the goals that you want to attain in life, and they're guiding you and maybe giving you directions or steps on how you can actually get to those goals. So I can coach you in it and never, ever, ever tell you what I did in it, right? But if I'm mentoring you, it's the opposite. I have to share with you my life experience. I have to share with you what was my journey to get me to where I am. You know, it's like if I mentor you in ministry, you're not coming to me for nothing. You come in because you see something. So now I have to open up and let you in and take you on like a mentee or a protege, which means probably you come a little closer to me than a coaching client would get to me, because you get to experience, like I call it the inner courts. You know, you get to tap into an area that a regular client is not going to ever see.
Okay, so there's a life coach and a mentor. Do you spend the same amount of time with both of them? Or there's one you spend less time with and the other one you spend more time with?
I would spend more time with someone I'm mentoring, because it's a different result that they're seeking. And so I spend more time with them because they want that one-on-one personal close connection, right? They want that connection. The client wants to reach a certain goal. So I might spend 5 sessions with a client and they're there. And so they go on until they need more coaching. The mentee is going to be there until that mentor-mentee relationship is broken, or they have progressively elevated to where they need a different type of mentor. But that's a lifelong relationship. When I mentor somebody, it's like, you know, that's a lifetime kind of thing.
I agree. And I wanted to say for these ladies, Jackie, and to our viewers, let me share first, Marcella is my childhood girlfriend since we were 10 years, about 8-10 years old. We are very best friends in all of the world. And how I got into life coaching was through Marcella, because she knows me, like she said, she knows another side. I do ministry, things of that nature. And she was like, you need to be a life coach. I'm like, oh my God, I can't do another thing, you know? And she's like, no, you're going to get the training and I'm going to sponsor you for the training. I'm like, so when somebody tell you they're going to pay for you to take the training, what, you know what I mean? It's like,
don't look a gift horse in the mouth, take the training.
And we call Marcella, she is like the hope pusher. If you don't want to take it, you're going to take it because she's going to push you till you do take it. You know what I mean? So it was like, I give. And so I ended up signing up for the course with our other guest, Minister Ginger London. And so I trained up under her, which was a phenomenal training, the Diamond Coaching course that we took, and I took it with some other coaches. It was outstanding. And for those of you out there, okay, yes, I'm putting a plug in right here. If you want to get coaching training, you need to connect with Minister Ginger London's business, and we're going to give you her website, all of that at the end. But I took the training with her and it was phenomenal. I mean, literal training. And she was a slave driver too. She another one that pushed you. We had time stamps, assignments. You know, it was a crash course, right, Minister London, because we took it within a short span of time. And so you had to be on almost like all day to take the class. Then we had to do role play. And I mean, it was so intense. And during the pandemic, I'm like, what the perfect time, because everybody was at home, you know, and we were really trying to figure out what we were going to be doing. So it almost fell into my lap. And today I can say that it was worth every moment, Minister Ginger, every moment, every assignment. The people who I connected with on who were my classmates, we are still very much connected today. And it was a wonderful, wonderful journey. And so now I am a certified life coach as well. And I am just very excited about how God is really blessing the business. It is called Evolve with Eliana LLC. That is the name of my business. And I'm doing life coaching in my area of expertise. As Minister Ginger said, you have to know your niche. Like, you can't be a life coach in every area. I could never life coach in learning how to be a sports athlete because I've never done it. So you have to find, that's one thing we learn. What are you great at? What do you know? What is your passion? What do you love? And of course, mine was family and marriage. So I am a family and marriage life coach. And those are who my clients are right now. I have clients who are married, and we have a set of clients that are engaged to be married. And I say we because the women who were married wanted a man's point of view. And so I kind of pulled my husband in with me, and it's been great. It's been great. He hasn't had any formal life coaching training, but we've had life experiences together. So the brothers have definitely kind of been drawn to coming in, getting in there on time. It's amazing. They come in, they looking for my husband, like, because usually I kind of do the initial, and then I bring my husband, and they be looking like, okay, we get husband, you know.
Well, I have a
But it's
question
been
with that.
great.
As far as men, I have a question for that. As far as the man, okay, if you're a female and you're looking for a life coach, should you look for a life coach that's the same sex, or should you look for a life coach that's a man? I mean,
I
how
have
does it?
male clients. I have male clients.
Okay. So I mean, how does that work? I mean, do they?
Because they come in, they're not looking. So for me, and I'm just going to mention this because we talked about mentoring. So when I present my services to my clients, I tell them that I have a 4M methodology. And that methodology is that you get the minister in me, the mother in me, the motivator in me, and the mentor in me. And if they agree to having sessions and allowing me to speak to them in those different areas, then they are my client. So when they come to me, they're not coming to me. The ones who do come to me, they come to me because they want to move from where they are to where they really want to be. That's my what I say. So my clients look like, my clients are usually the people who spend most of their lives taking care of everybody else, helping everybody else, putting themselves last. And then they get to a point in their lives where they just said, you know what? I know that there's something in me. I know that there's greatness in me. And I need to connect with someone who can see that in me and help me move from where I am to where I want to be. So when the brothers do come to me, they come into me because of that piece of it. They're not looking at me as you a woman and you can't, because they're not coming to me to help me with their masculinity. They're not coming to help me with their manhood. They know that there's something that they're dealing with in their core, and they're looking for that person who is going to ignite them in that space and place. If someone comes to me and they say to me, well, I'm having issues with my manhood. Well, I'm not a man, so I can't help you, but I can work with you to try to help you find a man who can speak to you where you are. I can, affirm you in that area in terms of making sure that this person is a person of integrity, that this person will follow through, and I can help you in that regards. But so when the brothers do come to me, they're coming to me because of the core of who they are, and it's not gender related in most cases.
Okay.
Yeah, and then can I add something to that? I think everybody should know what their expertise is, and I think that because if I need coaching, I have a business and I need it in social media, and I'm a lady, you think I'm not gonna go to a guy who could teach me how to market using social media? Yeah, I'm gonna go if I want to market my business. I think that when it comes to gender, it needs to, if it's something that's truly personal, then you might want to make a gender selection. You know what I'm saying? So Marcella says, if it's about his manhood. Me personally, I probably would want to know, he would have to go a little more into that for me to refer him out. Like, what is it about your manhood where you need help with? Because when you get that answer, you'll know whether that's an issue that needs life coaching or is that an issue that needs therapy, right?
So true. And I
yeah,
think
because I have an issue with my manhood, or I have an issue with being I have an issue, a woman's issue. Well, what is that issue? Or what do you think that issue is? And if it's an issue that is bothering me or has been there from past, I'm not ready for coaching yet. I got to go resolve that.
Right.
So as a life coach, I have to be, as she said, have enough integrity to refer you not only just to another life coach, I got to refer you to somebody who can deal with whatever that issue is
Yeah.
to make sure that that's resolved. Because if I send you to a coach and you should have gone to a counselor, that's just like a Band-Aid, right? And you still not going to get free from it because that issue is tugging at you, right? And so, you know, I think it's whatever it is that you're comfortable with. Some things, yes, you're going to have to refer them out, period. You know what I'm saying? A great example of that would be, and I know this was preaching, but a great example of that would be Bishop Jakes when he did Woman Thou Art Loose years and years ago, right? So here is a man teaching women about being women, right? And that you're gifted and what you can do and what you can't do, what your mind, what's going on in a woman's mind, what's going on in your emotions. You know, why are you not flowing in ministry? What's keeping you back? You know, so I think that whatever level you're comfortable on, can I teach you what it's like to be a man? No. But do I know anything about being a man that can help you? And then as a life coach, my integrity has to step in and say, this is as far as I can take you.
Right.
Now I need to send you or refer you to someone else. And then when I make the referral, I need to be able to say, this is how many sessions I've had with the person. And here's now I've taken him as far as I can take him. He now needs a different kind of voice in his life.
I think that's something we learned early on in our training, was that you have to be open and flexible enough to know when you can and can't help an individual, and not be afraid to refer that person either to a therapist or maybe another life coach, because maybe I am the marriage and family coach, but you need somebody who's going to coach you in developing your business. You might need somebody that's going to coach you in some other area, which that's not my area of expertise. So I need to pick up the phone and say, hey, I have this client who's interested in knowing how to build their business on social media. Can you coach them through that process? And not be afraid to do that, because that is how you gain relationships, you build relationships, and you help other people build their business. And there's a blessing in that. And you know, we can't be hungry. We have to be willing to spread the good all over, because I'm a firm believer in there's room enough for all of us. You know, all of us have an area of expertise. God has people for all of us. Those who I have to share with, even though Marcella and I may have the very exact same family life coaching, right? We may do the exact same thing, but there's a group of people that God has ordained for her to reach, and there's a group of people that God has ordained for me to reach. And so that's why I feel like nobody should ever be jealous of anybody and anything that they do, because the harvest is right. The harvest is right.
And that's real talk. And that's why, so even when someone comes to me for my services, one thing that I do, they complete an intake form. And so even from the information that they put on the intake form, I get an idea of, because what people say, what they write down, how they respond, sometimes those things don't align themselves. And sometimes they can see you as a person. So somebody can see Connie, Eliana on here, and it's like, I like how you talking. And in that moment, they're excited about it. And then when they reach out, they were excited in that moment. But then when it comes down to really doing the work and understanding how the process works, then they really don't want to do it. So when they do this intake form, and it's intense. And it's funny because they do the form, they complete it, it makes them think. I ask them questions that make them think. So either they do it, those who are serious about the process, they complete it and they send it to me right away. Those who are just, they're not ready, I'll send them an email, said that, have you had an opportunity to complete the intake form? Oh, well, I'm too busy, I'm this and that. I already know. I know where they are because how they respond. Right. So we just have to, if you you said a bunch of things that are powerful, because oftentimes one thing about this life coaching industry, it's tons of life coaches. Everywhere you look, someone is a life coach. Qualified, certified, uncertified, unqualified, they are everywhere. And I really personally don't even use the term. I just say, if I have to, I am an empowerment coach, but I like saying that I'm more so of a mentor. And I know that's a long-term thing, but then some people who may start out wanting the mentoring process, we go through the life coaching process because that helps me to see where they really are. How much of an investment are they willing to make within themselves? How much work are they really wanting to do? Because people just get excited about they see you and they get excited. So I would say to people who feel like they are interested in this life coaching journey, to definitely, if you have not taken the time to get certified and go through proper training, it will help you. It will help you not to make the mistakes. I heard someone say a couple of weeks ago that wisdom is advice without the tears. And so when you get in the training and you get the certification, it will really help you and guide you and give you a better understanding of where you're going, because it's just not, it's not a joke to be playing with people's lives. And you have to know, if you're going to do this, it has to be more than just a business. It has to be something that your heart is in and that you're willing to follow through. So I think that's very important. And one reason why I went to Minister Ginger's Diamond Coaching Academy, because I found her many years ago. She was out here on these social media streets when social media streets was not even well known and everything. And I was in this space and place in my life where I just wasn't interested in ministry anymore. I wasn't interested in doing all of this stuff because I had been pulled and my heart was broken and I just wasn't sure about my direction. And she had this course called Gotta Get My Life Back. Is that what it was called?
Got to get myself together.
I gotta get myself together. And I saw that somewhere. I don't know where I saw it. And
it was on Facebook.
Okay. And because I've been on Facebook since 2008 because of my children. And I signed up with her with that. And it was life-changing for me. It was like, you know what, this thing, I can do this. And it was really good. And even after many years after I had that training with her, I had emailed her one day and I said, I need to get those recordings again. And because I couldn't find them, and she sent them to me again. And then years went on and we didn't have any contact, but I know of her integrity. And I know that the training that she provided, it was on point. And I am so glad I took it, even knowing and being through the training that I've had in the past. Hers was like, it was today. It was relevant. It was today. And it really helps propel me to be in this space and place where I am now in my life coaching. My business, Marcella D. Moore LLC, and it's a personal development. So we do coaching and helping you in your personal development. So that's my 58 cents.
Now, what about picking a person who's a good friend to be your life coach? Now, was that something you guys would recommend or say yes to or no to?
I say it's based on the level of maturity. So if Connie came to me and say, Stella, I need you to do some life coaching with me, I would say yes to her and she would say yes to me, because we're mature enough in knowing how to separate the two. So the first thing I'm going to say to her is, okay, what are your goals? Where you want to go? Where you want to, because I have technically, that we look at it, I have life coached her. I've, done life coaching with her. So it's based on the level of, I know that when I'm helping her as a life coach, I'm not helping her as my girlfriend. I'm not helping her. I'm helping her to move from where she is to where she want to be. And I'm not allowing the emotional connection and all of that we have to interfere with that. Some people could do that and others cannot.
Yeah, I was going to say it depends. For me, it would probably depend on the individual and what they needed coaching in. Like I said, because of my area expertise, like Stella said, she does personal development. So if it was one of my family members who wanted that, I would probably direct them to her. But if it was a family member who wanted life coaching, I would have to have a serious conversation with them, and they would have to have the understanding of, listen, I'm not auntie, I'm not your cousin, you know, because like Stella said, I life coach many of my nieces and nephews now, you know, through relationships and things of that nature. However, on the professional level, I'm not that person. If I'm going to be your life coach, I'm going to be your life coach. And not only that, but you're going to have to invest in it because you have to pay me. You
Yeah,
have to pay me.
that's
No,
what I was gonna say.
no. Yeah, you have family or not, this is my business. You know what I mean? So
Right.
when I take and I do my coaching sessions are an hour. So I'm taking an hour out of my day, you know what I'm saying, to spend that hour totally focused on you and your needs and hearing you. You have to pay for that service. Now, I don't do that with my nieces when they call, they done had a boyfriend trouble, or my nephew, or my, you know, spiritual children, nothing like that. But I'm saying if they did come and say, auntie, because the thing was, one of my nieces did ask me if did I think that I could coach her and her mom through give them some coaching. And I said, I probably not. I'm too close to the situation. You know what I mean?
Right.
I didn't want to not be by, you know, I couldn't have been on the even ground with them. So I told her, no, they probably need to look at, you know, she probably need to look at getting someone else because I'm too close. And you have to know that. If am I too close? Can I do it? You know, and you have to know that. So you have to be prayerful, you have to be spiritual about it, you know, you have to be connected to know who it is you can and cannot coach.
Right.
And then how to send that to somebody else who, you know, refer them out to somebody else who can help them.
Exactly. And you know, when it comes to friends and family members, it's just like Connie said, you know, you got to treat them like a client. If they're serious, you got to treat them like a client. The same work that you got in energy that you got to put in the service and client, you got to put even more into it. Just for some people, when they're family members or when they're friends, and there has to be a clear understanding about that, because if you don't get that understanding, they will wear you out. And it would, you know, just keep pulling on you and pulling on you and pulling on you and pulling on you. And because you're friends, because you're family members, sometimes you might, you know, feel like a little obligated or feel like, oh, that's my family, I better, you know, just go ahead and listen. They need help, you know. I don't know about Connie, but I don't barter. And you know what I'm saying? You can't take me for a $20 lunch in an hour with you. To my, oh, let's go to IHOP. You know, no.
Office.
But you know
I
what?
had that
It's a-
experience before, and that lunch turned into an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. So what my what is it? Cheeseburger meal costs $8.99, you know, plus tax. And I just spent 90 minutes with you, taking notes, everything. 90 minutes with you. Haven't gotten a meal since then, right? No. You know what I say? Listen, here's how this is gonna go. I'm gonna send you a link.
Yes.
Click that link. You're gonna see all my available spots.
Right.
It's open. Pick one. And then take you to the payment page. Or I'm gonna send you the link. I'm gonna tell you how much it is. You pay it. Then that link is gonna take you to the where you can schedule.
Oh, I gotta get that, teacher. I didn't get that.
But see, the thing
I'll get
about
that
it
back.
is that what I'm going to say, so the three of us are in ministry. And I know one of my biggest challenges from shifting and doing ministry and my business was being okay with charging for my services. Because, and I don't even, and I'm saying charging for my services because people understand that better, but I tell people, if you're ready to invest in yourself,
Yes.
then I'm ready to work with you. But it took me a long time to get there because we have this misconception in terms of being ministers in the gospel that you're not supposed to charge for your services. You're not supposed to charge to help people. But that's a whole something that's from AD 895 AD that is just because God has called us. He's called us to do great things in the earth. And there's a difference between when we get up in the pulpit and we're sharing and we're ministering, or if we meet someone on the street and God leads us to talk to them. That's a big difference. When we're talking about walking in the calling and the purpose that God has ordained for us, it took me a long time to be okay with charging people for my services. And I think that when you get to the point and you understand who you are and that God has called you to do something great in the earth and that you are a game changer and that this world has need of you and that there are people out there who are looking for you, it helps you to understand and to be able to say, okay, now people call me, I say, are you calling just to, get something real quick for me? Are you looking for my services? Because we're not going to do this. I have spent hours of time talking to people, and then you finish with them, they go on to the next person, or they see somebody who is well known and they'll go spend their money with them when you just sat there and told them the same thing, or they don't want to do the work what you said. So it takes, if you are shifting, if you are faith-based, and you know that this is something God has called you to do, you have to be willing, because even in establishing a business, the business funds, God is not just going to drop them out the sky. He's not just going to say, okay, well, you have all this overhead. And nowadays the overhead could be Zoom. It can be you putting together your packages and different things like that. You may not necessarily have a brick and mortar. I have a brick and mortar. So you have to be willing to do what you need to do so that you can get the finances coming in, and know that God is okay with that. Know that he's okay with that. And that's not something that you run from, and you don't allow people to make you feel bad because you have a business. You are a minister in ministry who is God is called, but God has also called you to have a successful business. And we have to be okay with that. And that was just something that took me a long time to accept, and to be able not only to accept, but then to implement.
Yes.
Yeah, I was the same way for a long time. I would do conferences, workshops, wouldn't charge, call myself taking up an offering, until I saw the same people going to other conferences, paying whatever that registration fee was, buying those books, those CDs, those DVDs, whatever it was that was selling. They were selling, that's a no, same person that you spend 90 minutes with, 2 hours with. Now they're going to go to someone else and going to pay the 185 to 200 an hour, whatever it is, they're going to pay it. And then because you didn't charge them anything, they're going to come back. And then they still want to see you as the freebie. But when they go somewhere else, they respect it and then they pay it. So, I'll help you a little bit, but and then there's some people, honestly, there's some people that the Spirit of the Lord lays it up on my heart. I take them on, and I gift it to them. Not many people, but I do gift it to them. You know what I'm saying? Those people are different. They receive the gift differently. They respond to the gift differently. The after math, if you will, from it, the testimony, the excitement about where their lives have gone is totally different. The appreciation, the gratitude is totally different. They're always trying to figure out, what can I do? Can I bless you? Can I do this? Can I do that? And you have to teach them, as Marcella was saying, then I have to stop and teach them to receive the gift. Right? This is gifted to you, receive the gift. You don't give your gifts back at Christmas, do you? So receive the gift. So it took me a minute as well. Now,
it didn't take me a minute, Ginger.
That's all right, because we put in the time for you. So
y'all
came on board, we put in the time for you, okay?
Right, because Minister Ginger, when she taught us, listen, you go out the door, this is what you're going to charge. But she did teach us, now you don't start at 185 an hour, but you get you a set fee and you work your way up from there. But when I hit the ground and I decided this is what I was going to do, I had my fee, and I think I talked to Marcella about it. This is what I'm thinking I'm going to do. And she was like, oh yeah, that's a good start. And then one of my other girlfriends, who is a licensed therapist, I shared with her, and she was like, oh, that'll be a great start for you, And
the interesting thing about that is, in almost any industry though, but in the life coaching industry, if you really pay attention to the industry, and I told them this in the training, people who are probably not as gifted, not as talented, as you guys are, right out the gate, it's no question, they don't lower it, nothing. Whatever the rate is at that moment that they finish, that's what they charge. And you just got to keep in mind that people are used to it now, especially since this pandemic. You know what I'm saying? It's out there. More people are, because they're looking, they need answers, right? They need you to help them to make decisions. They got to make career changes, life changes. They got to do all of that, right? And so they're looking for it. And one of the things that people are being taught in some areas and some, that if it's too low, that person might not be that good. So you just got to be mindful of that. You know, I think I told them in the training, you know, do a launch special. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you did.
Do a special, do something like that, but never say I'm just starting. So this is all I'm charge right now. You know what I'm saying? Launch it out there as a special, you know, and the brand, I'm launching my business. This is my new business launching fee. Grab it right now while you can, because that's on such and such date. It's going back to the original.
And it's,
so you ladies mentioned earlier. Oh, go ahead, Ms. Conner.
No, I was just going to say that I was also going to mention that a lot of times I really have not launched. Like, I did not get on Facebook and social media and launch my business yet. And I was telling this to Ginger the other day, because first of all, I have already 3 couples. I'm good. And I'm seeing them consistently every other week, bi-weekly, you know, and that's going to be for the next, I think, like, I don't know, we did 6 weeks, 6 or 8 weeks. But my thing was that all of them came to me by word of mouth, by referral. Somebody told them about me, and the people thought like I was a therapist. So like, because I'm like, I'm not a therapist. Now let's be clear, you know, I am a coach. But they were okay with it. They were like, that's fine. You know what I mean? Because I got referred, they were referred to me by someone else who knew me. But so I have not launched, like did a major all out launch. And I shared this with Minister Ginger, was because I want to be able to give my people quality time. And right now my schedule does not allow me to launch, and then all this business starts coming in and I'm not able to accommodate the people. So right now I'm just going to stick with these 3, get them through, and then maybe I'll do it, you know, maybe they might tell 2 friends and so on and so on. But to launch, I'm excited about launching. I'm a little scared, because you know, when God put his stamp on you, you know what I mean, and he say, okay, now go forth, boy, that stuff coming overflowing. It'd be like, I need a calendar, a spreadsheet, like Minister Ginger said, you need a link, you gotta go ahead and hit it. I'm not there yet, but we gonna get there.
But it's about understanding your pace, like understanding the pace. And like, so for me, I mentioned, and Jen, I'm sorry, I knew you wanted to say something. I'm going to be really quick with this.
Okay, no problem.
That right now I'm on a sabbatical, like from social media, because I realized that it was so much that was taking place. It was so much that I was doing, and I had to pay attention long enough to know, you know what, I need to pause just for a moment. And in my pause, I assess. In my pause, I look at, okay, what can I do better? How can I still create different things that are going to allow things to keep coming in? And you do that. So the thing about it, you should never compare yourself to anyone else. You can look at other people and get ideas and see how they're moving, but you have to understand where you are, and you have to understand the pace that God has given you. And in order to be a person of excellence in your business, in your coaching, as a student, whatever the case may be, in ministry, you want to make sure that you make time to fine tune the things that God has given you. God qualified us the moment that he gave us the gift, the calling, the vision, the ministry. It is our job to fine tune it and to develop it in a way so that it can be effective. So understand your pace, be okay with your pace, be okay with where God has you, and just continue to trust the process. When you trust the process, it will allow you to be better in what you do.
Yes, thank you.
Go ahead, Jennifer, what was your
Go ahead,
question?
Jen.
I was going to say that earlier in the conversation, you all mentioned that, you know, if someone's not a good fit for you, you'll refer them out to maybe another life coach. In the same way that primary doctor does referrals out to, say, a dermatologist or a podiatrist, things like that, do you have other professionals that you work with when you are working with someone who you feel, okay, maybe this person needs to go see a holistic medicine doctor, or maybe there's some things in that area that they need to work on, or maybe they need to go see just a massage therapist just so they can get some of that daily stress out? Like, are there other professionals that you coordinate with your clients to get them assistance?
For sure.
Yes.
For sure. Like I said, I refer them, like I have a couple of girlfriends. If she's a therapist, if you need a therapist, like Minister Ginger said, do you need a therapist? Do you need a mentor? Do you need a coach? You know what I mean? Because they all have different roles. And so if you need somebody that's going to go deep, you know what I mean? You might need a counselor, you know what I mean? Or if you need somebody, you're dealing with some trauma, you might need therapy to help you through that trauma. So it just depends. But yes, I'm definitely going to refer them out because I know where my gift and abilities are. And I'm not going to try to act like I can be your therapist and get you through your trauma when I really can't. You know what I mean? I think that being a mentor and a coach, like Minister Ginger, I think she explained it great. You know, that mentor, is every day they calling you, right? your clients, you've set the schedule, you know the time, you know what I mean? They're on your books, they pay you your money, blah, blah, blah. A mentor is not paying you anything. They just want to, they want you to you bring them along. And I think that Stella said it too, when we're coaching, we know so we've assessed, you've done your assessment, you've done your intake. This is where you want to go. So we know where you want to go. Like the couple, my husband and I, we know they're ready for marriage. You know what I mean? So we did their assessment, we did that. So now we know the next step for them is moving towards marriage. So that's where we're trying to get them to. Whereas with a mentor, somebody who just wants to be like me, so to speak, and I'm not saying, you know what I mean? But that's what they say. I want to be like, they want to be with you every step of the way. You're going to spend much more time with a mentee than you are a client.
Now be clear that there are mentors who do charge for mentorship.
Really?
People, and be clear with this. So people who come to me and say, Marcella, I want you to mentor me, a requirement is that they have to go through the life coaching process. That means they have to invest in themselves. We go through that process. That helps me to see where they really are and what they want to do. And the funny thing is, most of the time, by the time they finish that life coaching process, they really don't need me the way that they thought that they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my specialty. Like that's my area of expertise. So and I'm grateful to God because He gave it to me that way, because that's how I'm able to link the life coaching and the mentoring.
Yes. Yes.
Now, are you all providing the services primarily online or in person, and which do you prefer and why?
So because of the pandemic, everything initially had been via Zoom, via StreamYard, via online, conference call, whatever. But now I have the option, and for my clients to meet, if they're local, they can meet me one-on-one, live and in person. But for the most part, because I have clients who are all over the country, I meet them online.
Most coaching is done mostly before all the online, the virtual stuff came evolve the way it is right now. Coaches were using conference calls lines, the bridge lines. And so most coaching has always been digital, if you will, so you have some people who do it locally in their cities where you come, person comes to the office or that kind of thing. One of the advantages of life coaching is that profession, as Marcella said earlier, the overhead is so low, because here you're on a phone, probably in your home, they're in their home or wherever they are, but it's via phone. So that's how it was for years and years. And then it evolved in when Skype showed up. Right. And so then they went to face-to-face with Skype, and then some more evolution came. And so now then you have Facebook, but Facebook Live has only been in existence since August of 2015, but some of your bridge lines, started having video conferencing, even before Facebook Live. So the person could still use a link and use their webcam, and you could still do the coaching like you do on a Zoom, and then of course, then Zoom showed up. And then, of course, with the pandemic, everybody knows about Zoom, but mostly coaching is either a bridge line or it's some type of virtual thing. And so you do have some people who do, as Marcella, there are some people that if in your city, and some people want to meet one-on-one. So, but if you don't have that brick and mortar, like she said, then I would suggest that if a person is going to see someone, find at one of these hotels that has like a little small conference room that you can rent with low cost for X number of hours, and do it that way. And then still have people scheduled, put them on, you come at this time, next person is at this time, but most of it is done virtually.
Yeah.
They have a lot of the shared spaces now. It's very popular. Virtual offices, shared spaces where you can rent a room from a corporation. They have the conference room there. I know a lot of people who do it that way.
Yeah, all of mine have been, well, like you said, I have a couple in Indiana, a couple in DC, and then a couple here in Georgia. So all of mine have been via Zoom. Via Zoom. And then the other one, I haven't even Zoomed in with them yet. I told the other couple that our probably last 2 sessions, I want to see them live, like on Zoom, just so that we can see one another and have those conversations. But they've been over the phone. The other ones have, yes, been over on Zoom. Is somebody talking?
You are.
Oh, I stopped. I stopped.
There was a hush for a moment.
I thought there was a hush.
Letting everybody absorb everything that had been said. So that was the moment everybody could absorb everything that has been said since we started. A lot of information, a lot of things that we said. So we're hoping that as they watch this and listen to this, that they're in that moment, that they really took time to absorb everything that was said.
Yes, that's very good. See, I told y'all, the life giver, the hope pusher, the motivator. Listen, we got it all right here tonight, okay? Those of you who are out there, we got it all right here for you tonight. And I know our time is winding up. I would like for both of you to share your business, your social media, how people can reach you, your email, and things of that nature. So we'll start with
Minister Ginger. Look, beauty first, Minister Ginger.
Thank you. But they can reach me through social media, Facebook. You can direct message me. You can. I'm on Twitter. I'm on LinkedIn. I have the Facebook Live, the personal profile page, but also the Ginger London Ministry page, the Diamond Coaching Academy. You can't get in there. So don't go that route. So that group is closed off unless you went through, a challenge or a training. So don't try to get in there. But they can do it that way, or you can actually email me at mingingerlondon@gmail.com, and I will respond back to you if you email me for any questions or anything like that. So you can find me.
What is your coaching specialty, Minister Ginger?
Mine is purpose. Helping a person discover what their purpose is, and not just discover it, but there are 3 layers of it. It's discover, develop, and deliver. Discovering is, who am I? What am I called to do? What is it that God has assigned me to do? And once I know that, then I have to immediately move into develop. So that means it has to become something. Right? So what is it supposed to become? Am I supposed to teach? Am I supposed to speak? Am I supposed to write books? What is it? How do I develop the assignment that's on my life? And then who do I deliver it to? Because I'm not assigned to everybody. So who do I deliver it to? Although I might sell to anybody, but I'm not assigned to everybody. And when I know who I'm assigned to, it makes the delivery process a whole lot easier. So instead of me being in front of somebody, like somebody may have said earlier, talking to folks they're listening to me, but the aha moment is not happening because I don't have what they're looking for, right? Mm-hmm. So I have to discern or know who I'm assigned to, and I have to allow my gift to make room for me, right? Somebody has to know what it is I'm doing and what I'm good at. And so that means I can't be afraid to speak up. You know, I used to be like that. We'll just pull back, wouldn't say anything. Can't make it like that. So the gift has to make room for you. And so that's my area of expertise. And I know that I'm good at, blessed with the spiritual gift of teaching. I know I'm good at training. I know I'm good at teaching people. So I know that. And so it took me a minute, but I'm confident in that. So I know that when I get up to speak, when I'm speaking to you as a life coach, personal life coach, I know that every word that I say to you is going to be on assignment because I done been before God, and I know that I'm just not going to waste my words. So that's my area of expertise.
Thank you. And I know we closed at 8. Mike, can you give us a couple more minutes because we want to have Marcella give her information, and then I'm going to, of course, give mine. So our producer give
We
us
have 6 minutes, so we should be able to
We
do
do?
So
Okay.
my
ahead,
business is Marcella D. Moore LLC. And what we do, we inspire aspiring leaders by helping them identify purpose, identify purpose, identify their gifts and talents. We teach them how to cultivate those gifts and talents, and then in turn, teach them how to take those gifts and talents and to go into their communities to become change agents, effective change agents. So you can reach me. I am on all social media. It's there. I just put my handle there at Cella D Motivates. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can go to my website, marcelladmore.com, and you can also get information there. You can sign up for our mailing list. And basically that's it. So if you know, I said this earlier, if you are someone and you spent most of your life taking care of everybody else, catering to everybody else, and when you lay in the bed at night, you feel that thing on the inside, and you like, it's something, I desire something more, I need something more, then we are the place and space to be, because we will help you identify your purpose and cultivate those gifts, and then empower you to be the change agent that you were designed and ordained to be. So that pulling on the inside that's your purpose trying to find you. And if you knock on our door, we'll help you identify that and help you move from where you are to where you really want to be.
All right, Miss Connie, your turn.
And all of my social media is Eliana Connie. You can find me everywhere as Eliana Connie. My business is Evolve with Eliana Connie LLC. And again, I am the family and relationship coach, and I am willing to help you as best I can in leading you to where you want to go. And that is the thing with the coaching that I do, taking you to where you want to go. The word evolve means to go to another place from where you are. And that is what we are here to do, help you to evolve, to go to that place where you want to be.
And real quick, I want to ask, with the pandemic going on and people losing jobs, people not wanting to go back to work, but people need your services, how is it as far as pricing? Is it something that's affordable for the everyday person? Because I heard $200, I heard $185, and that's an hour.
But you know what? One thing that
I know it's worth it. It's your investment, but right now people can't afford it. So
the people who are assigned to us can afford us. And if a person comes to me and they say, I want to take advantage of one of your power sessions, that's what I call them. I send the information and they say, I can't do that right now. And I say, it's not a problem. I'm sure there's someone out there who is on the level that you have at this moment. It's saturated. Mm-hmm. This life coaching thing is saturated. So if you can't afford me, and I think I'm pretty low compared to a lot of people, if you can't afford me, my feelings are not hurt, and I encourage you to go to someone who you can afford, because it's just how it works. I think that it's saturated. You could find somebody on the low, in the middle, and in the high. And I'm okay that if you want to be me and you can't, and the price is the difference for you. I'm okay with that.
And sometimes, we think that because it's a pandemic, sometimes we think that people can't afford it. People have money for whatever they want to have money for. That's what I'm seeing in the pandemic. They have it for whatever they want to have it for. And if they're serious enough, they will do whatever they need to do to get it. And I mean, you know, with integrity, whether they ask family members to sow a seed into what they want to do, people, I mean, and especially if they're at a place where they're trying to figure out, you know, what am I doing? I lost my job, you know, I need to move forward. How am I going to determine what I need to do next in my career? You know, and so when they look at those sessions, if they're serious about it, you know, maybe they can't do it at the moment they called you, but they'll find a way to actually do it, you know, a couple of weeks later, or, you know, a couple of months later or so, something like that. And the thing about it, I like the way Marcella put it, even when somebody does that and they can't afford you, the manner in which you handle that tells them whether or not, when they can't afford you, if they're coming back.
Right.
Right. If you're gentle with them, if you say, I appreciate you contacting me, I do understand, you know, keep looking. And when you are able and when you can do it, please come back. Please contact me again, because they're already afraid to tell you that they can't afford it.
Right.
There's already some fear there about that.
Okay. Well,
Right,
ladies,
and I just wanted to say one more. I just wanted to add to that right quick, Jackie, is that in life coaching, there are always specials. Like, so I give my people the option, if you pay me up front for every session, you're going to get a discount. You know what I mean? And I think my rates are fairly reasonable as well, but you have the option. You can pay me when you do it, you can pay me bi-weekly, or you can pay me everything up front, and then you're going to get a discount. So it just varies. But I believe all of us that are here on our point of view tonight are reasonable, and you can afford to invest in you.
Right. Well, thank you, ladies, so much for being here. We learned so much. I learned a lot about life coaching. I learned a lot about it, and I really enjoyed it. And, you know, I learned the difference between life coaching and mentoring and all. And you guys were amazing. Continue doing what you're doing. Continue helping, you know, our community, because we need it, where everybody's going through a lot. And thank you so much once again for being here. Next week, we're going to talk to all women, the young women this time, and Miss Connie is going to be there, and she's going to be talking to them. I guess she's going to be doing some life coaching next week with our young females. But thank you guys so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. And just remember, everything you heard and everything we said was our point of view. We'll see.
It was our point of view. Bye-bye.
Our point of view.
Bye-bye.
Exactly. Our
Thank
point of
you.
view.